After 2 days, I finally managed to flawlessly solo the Harbinger quest without using Charge with Light mods or warmind cells. The background gameplay is going to show what I did, and I'll provide commentary throughout the video about how I did it. The first weapon I used is the Malfeasance because it does bonus damage against Taken. The other nice thing about it is that it's very stable, and getting 5 shots into a combatant will cause those shots to burrow into them, dealing even more damage. In the second slot, I used the Point of the Stag. If you don't have this yet, you can get it from the Tower Kiosk. Since it is a precision frame, it's meant for hitting harder at longer ranges, plus it has Vorpal weapon on it. I used the Taken mod you can get from the Last Wish raid, so it'll do more damage against Taken. Then for heavy weapons, I used the new Corsair's Wrath linear fusion rifle. The roll I'm using is actually my PvP roll, so the perks aren't really optimal for this sort of thing. But all that really matters is that it's a solar linear fusion rifle, so the Komodo FR4 will work just as good, although it's being sunset in like a week and a half. Because match game is on, I have an arc and a solar weapon, so I optimize my armor for using void abilities as often as possible. I use the highest level armor I have for my Titan, so there are a couple of Charge with Light mods on there, but only work for sidearms. I'm lazy and never bothered to take them off, but since I'm not running any sidearms, they don't actually do anything, so effectively I have no Charge with Light mods. Anyways, to optimize the void abilities, I use the Heart of Inmost Light, which makes your abilities more powerful and charge faster when you use one of them. Then on the mark, I use 2 distribution mods, which give energy to all abilities when you use your class ability near enemies. This will come in handy later. On the gloves, I put on the Bolstering Detonation mod that gives barricade energy whenever I throw a grenade. The grenade I went with is the Suppressor Grenade, because if the explosion doesn't kill an enemy, it'll stun them long enough for me to deal with the other enemies. One of the great things about running Code of the Commander is that you get void detonators that attach to enemies when you hit them with an ability. Now when you kill an enemy that has a detonator on it and the detonator explodes, you get grenade and melee energy from it. You can also get some damage resistance while you were in the super, so if you're about to be killed by something, don't be afraid to activate it just to stay alive a little bit longer. Something that saved me a lot of time here is knowing how to find the emissaries after they disappear. Now when you do enough damage to them, they will leave the area and you have to hunt them down to finish them off. Look for a solitary Taken posted outside of a Taken barrier that can be destroyed. The emissary you're hunting for will be in the room beyond the barrier. Now I found that the best position in this room is to go up the I-beam here and jump across the gap to this other support column. This is where the distribution mod on the Titan mark comes into play. Enemies will often spawn below me, but they're close enough that I was able to get the barrier and grenade energy back constantly. The only issue in this room is that the snipers don't spawn consistently. Sometimes they'll all come in at once, and sometimes they'll spawn one every couple seconds. Just be aware of this and don't expose yourself too much when they start spawning in. Another mod that's essential is the unstoppable hand cannon, so Malfeasance will stagger the unstoppable champions. And what's great about being up here is that there's all these gaps in the concrete that you can hit the champions from. If you don't see any enemies left in the room, as long as there's less than 5, you can pop out your ghost and he'll put markers on where they all are. I found that these solar shielded Taken captains like to hide behind the concrete support columns, but that's why I'm using a solar linear fusion rifle. Just rotate around the room and eventually you'll see them. Don't launch yourself through this portal like I did the first time, or you'll end up falling to your death. Now watch out for this sniper up here. Thankfully he's the only one hiding out throughout the rest of this whole encounter. Now when you get to this part, do not immediately charge in. Instead, kill everything you can from afar. There's a sniper around the corner to the left that'll shoot you in the back if you're not careful. After these taken are taken out and the sniper on the left is dealt with, it's fairly smooth sailing until the boss room. There are a couple of enemies, but take it slow, don't rush in, and you'll do just fine. Now something that I notice about this boss room is that there's a pattern to how all of the little guys spawn. When you enter the room, divide it in half and they'll spawn on whichever half you are not. So if you enter and turn to the left, they'll all spawn on the right. Now you can literally sit here all day trying to snipe these guys from the opposite side, but their ability to divide is ramped up significantly. I found that the best thing to do was to whittle away their numbers as much as I could, then skirt around the edge and take out the rest with my super. When you finally kill the last one, no more will spawn until you get the boss's health down to the next phase. Once those are taken care of and the boss's shields are down, you're free to damage him how you wish. I found that pumping Malfeasance rounds into him was the easiest option. Each time you remove 1/3 of his health, he gets his shields back and the little taken start spawning in. So just repeat the process and you'll do fine. Since Point of the Stag is masterworked, getting rapid kills on the taken on the other side of the room will generate orbs of power to fill the super faster. Also, I don't know where all of the feathers in this mission are, but I did find one behind the waterfall in this room. And yeah, that's how I managed to solo flawless the Harbinger mission without using Charge with Light mods or warmind cells. Here's a blooper reel of all my failures I had along the way. Thank you for watching, and if you made it this far, give subscription a consideration if it helped you out.